Alright, I know a lot of people are either confused or want to know what I think of the Bingo, Bullseye, Doombringer nerfs. In short, the only weapon that caught a hard nerf this patch was the Doombringer. So both the Wildfire and the Bingo are actually still top 3 PvP weapons. The current ranking for PvP weapons, in my opinion, would be Jaws, with its buff. For some reason it got buffed, don't ask me. Would be Jaws, Wildfire, which is this deagle here, and then Bingo are currently the top 3 weapons in PvP. And if you're wondering, oh, the boot nerf has completely butchered the experience, it has not, and that is for one very specific reason. Wildfire's specific perk, it transfers Bullseye to nearby target at an 80% chance, so it is extremely OP, and is probably, again, why it is now the number 2 weapon in the game, next to Jaws. So again, both deagles are actually top performers in PvP now, especially after the Doombringer nerf. Now, if you're wondering what the Doombringer nerf is, it's not damage related. It's actually, funny enough, reload speed related. So something that before the patch was in the game, you were actually able to get past 200% reload speed, which would create these giga-fast reloads, as we know from Doombringer, but this was unintended. They've fixed this, and now we have intended fire rate and reload speed. And to put it bluntly, it's a pretty slow reload. Yeah, it's kind of butchered the whole weapon. Now, there is still a way to make the Bullseye, the Doombringer work, and that is through using the heavyweight style rather than the lightweight style. Now, instead of doing reload speed, we're going to be going for increased mag capacity. You want to maximize your mag capacity substats alongside running that heavy style blueprint. I don't know if I have any on me right now. I might do. Heavy style, yeah. Magazine capacity plus 60%. Actually, I literally just have a best blueprint in my inventory. Nice. So you want to run this exact blueprint with mag capacity substats on your weapons, which is going to be crucial to making the Doombringer still viable. One of my guildmates actually got his Doombringer up to 6 shots using around 70% increased mag capacity from all the different avenues you can increase it from. So that is definitely another way to look at it for if you're using the Doombringer. Doombringer currently, though, is not the best in PvP anymore. So because of that, Wildfire and Bingo is now the best option for Bullseye builds. Back to the V2 meta. Again, this is V5 3 days after V4, but that is the way it works. We're going to be doing these videos for a while, and I'm here for it. So back into the actual build at hand. What are we running to make this build still so good? Again, obviously Wildfire with the spreading perk is fantastic. Now, what are we actually running on both these weapons? Calibration blueprint on the deagle. I highly recommend precision style. Precision style is fantastic for increasing damage. Now, if you're wondering why not rapid style is really only used for Jaws, because you're trying to get more unstable bomber procs, which then also gives you more stagger procs. However, we want damage because we're just using bullets with Wildfire. There's no special effect or anything like that. So we're maximizing our damage, and I'm not kidding. In PvE, you will hit up to 30k with the right setup. In PvP, you will hit up to 18 to 20k with the right setup on weak spot mark targets, which is busted, by the way. And again, with that secondary perk that allows you to spread the bullseye, it's basically it's on par with the Jaws almost, in my opinion. If you shoot first, especially on an unaware Jaws player, this weapon's actually going to kill fast. However, if a Jaws does hit you first, they're probably going to stagger you and keep you in that stagger loop. But if you're flanking, this weapon is going to kill faster than Jaws. If you're 1vxing, this, in my opinion, might be a better option. And of course, we've got Bingo. Bingo is still fantastic. And best part is, we still have the bolt animation cancel. That is still in the game. Other than that, again, no real big nerfs. Again, obviously the boots, now you have to hit a marked target with the to get the guaranteed weak spot, but that's what the deagle is for. And if you're using the sniper, you get guaranteed weak spot as long as you weapon swap. So there's not really any problems with the nerfs here for me, other than the Doombringer did get hit pretty hard, sadly. Now for the armor, same as last video, we're running the 2-piece Renegade, 3-piece Bastille. This is personal preference. You could run 3-piece, 3-piece Renegade, 2-piece Bastille for PvE, and for PvP you could even run 3-piece Savior and 2-piece Renegade. It is entirely up to you what combo you run of those pieces, as long as you are running from that like pool, whether that be again 3-piece Bastille, Savior, or Renegade, and topping that off with the last 2 from any of those sets as well. Figure out what buffs best suit your playstyle. Personally, I love the Bastille 3-piece set bonus. It is highly underrated. Activating that Bastille buff is as simple as this, and boom, I get plus 40% weapon damage. Like, it's pretty good in my opinion, especially for sniping. Now, when it comes to the rest of the armor, again, boots, obviously the old Huntsman boots, which can be referred to as the Season Hunter boots in the UI. For some reason, this is some weird just translation error they still haven't fixed, so it's important to keep that in mind. For the mods, we are running the Precise Strike on helmets, weak spot and weapon damage substats. After that, you're looking for whether either health or weapon damage reduction. Either or. Weapon damage reduction or health is the 3rd and 4th, would be the ultimate best. Mask is again same thing, weak spot and preferably another weapon damage on there. Most want is the one I've been the most unlucky with so far. Weak spot damage boost with a weak spot and weapon damage substats. For the boots, we're actually running Secluded Strike. Now, there is 3 different options you can run here. I don't have one of them, I forgot the name of it. Again, it's the one that gives you plus 20% damage when you're out of combat for 4 seconds. Or you can run Slow and Steady, or you can run Secluded Strike. It is honestly up to you, and what I recommend running is whatever you have the better substats on, because that is probably going to actually yield you the most damage, because all of them are basically 20% damage increases. Slow and Steady is only 15%. It's 5% less, but still. So this one is 20%, 15%, and the other one's also 20%. So it really comes down to what you have the better substats on. For the chest, we're running Munitions Amplifier. Munitions Amplifier actually scales better than a blue weak spot mod, which is important to know. So weapon damage with weak spot substat. You could try and get a 3rd substat weapon damage as well, which would be a best roll on this. For the pants, we're running Unstoppable. Obviously, we have gone back from the 3 strikes in the Doombringer setup, because again, we're kind of excluding the shotgun here. I'm going to be off. You can still make the shotgun work, as I said, with heavy style, but ultimately the better PvP setup is going to be Bingo Wildfire, and that's what I recommend that most people run. It really does suck that for people that invested a lot in the Doombringer as well, and if you especially bought it in the last few days, I really do feel bad for you, and I hope there's some sort of refund system that gets added to the wish machine where you can refund a blueprint you purchased, let's say within a 3-day or 4-day time period, maybe a week even, where you can refund it like a one-time refund or something like that. I think that would be much needed, just to be fair to those players that kind of got shafted, to be honest. So again, I just wanted to add that. So yeah, Unstoppable on pants. For the weapons themselves, Vulnerability Amplifier. If you still don't know what Vulnerability Amplifier is, if you've played New World, it is Rend. It allows you to deal more damage to that player and adds a debuff to that player that also your teammates can utilize. So it's kind of like a team utility perk as well. So again, it's basically Rend like New World, where the player that has vulnerability or receives vulnerability will take more damage. So if I hit someone, they're going to take 8% vulnerability. So everyone that hits them will deal more damage to that player. Again, weak spot and weapon damage substats is the ideal on both of these mods. Vulnerability Amplifier is another one of those ones that's really hard to get good rolls on because of how rare the drop rates are for it from the Spider Boss. That is pretty much most of the build. Melee weapon, of course, you can run whatever you want. If you want to check out the movement tech with that, I recommend checking out the Bingo V4. I did include a little snippet of how you can get an extended dodge, which is still doable in the current patch, by the way. So I think that is most of the gear. I guess we can quickly do the accessories. Camouflage suppressor, compact reflex sight, integrated laser sight, and extended pistol mag. And obviously you're going to run legendary ammo in wars. For everything else, either tungsten or tungsten pistol. I'm at the point of the game where tungsten AP is actually cheap to make with all the resources I have. And for sniper, we're running the integrated suppressor, precision optic, and tactical SR, smart AP in wars, tungsten AP in just general use. For the cradle, which didn't really get any changes at all for our build, is going to be tactical combo, bouncy hunter, long range enhancement, handgun, steady hand does work, it's 20%, sprint, rapid aid, and deviation master. And then for PvP, so this is the PvE cradle, we're simply going to swap the agility on for deviation master, and this time we're going to leave rapid aid on because they changed brawl boost and it's actually really bad. So previously it was basically a 20% damage reduction until you killed a player. Now it halves after even shooting a player once. So let's say you're using a fully auto weapon or even the wildfire, you hit a player 3 times, that is going to cut to 5%. instant, which basically negates the entire use of this perk. So I think Rapid Aid is better, where you get your healing items back at a 30% increase, or reduction, sorry, and also stronger by 15% as well. So this is what I recommend for PvP. That is pretty much the entire build. I just wanted to get this out because I know a lot of people are worried or concerned about the nerfs, and rightfully so. The Doombringer players did get shafted. I do feel sorry for you guys. Ultimate Bullseye setup now is back on the Wildfire Bingo. And again, if you are curious how mod conversion works, which is one of the new features that came out, also just put a video up that covers everything you need to know about that. So if you need to know how to get, or how the hell mod conversion works, I highly recommend checking that video out. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.